Okay guys, so I'm here in the office and I wanted to talk today about something that's been asked to me so many times in the comments. You guys are always requesting this topic, and this is international shipping. As we all know, Canada Post shipping can be a mess, especially for beginners, and that's why I kind of wanted to come on here and talk about my experiences shipping out all sorts of different items internationally to the US and to other destinations. But it can be really difficult to figure out, to decide which package can use what service and to where and how much that will cost. So I wanted to kind of break that down in simple terms today, and we can sort of go through all the different packaging options and shipping options that you have that you can use when shipping to all these sort of different destinations. I want to take a quick second to say, if you're new to the channel and you're maybe running a small business, or you have an eBay store, an Etsy store, maybe you're selling things on Poshmark, whatever it might be, and you're sending things with Canada Post, or you're doing other sort of online hustles, be sure to subscribe to my channel where I make tons of different videos like this. And with that, let's get into things. So a lot of you guys have probably seen my last video where I broke down the letter mail system that Canada Post uses. This is, for domestic packages, also for USA and international. It lays out all the prices. I sort of went through how the letter mail system works and some of the items that you're shipping here, although probably not international items, but some of the items that we're talking about here that you might be shipping within Canada or whatever can actually go via letter mail. In simple, this is anything under 0.8 inches thick and up to 500 grams for the most part, and again, I have a whole video going over it if you're interested. I'll link it somewhere here. Now, something that I've been told in the past and something that I've been really confused about, especially recently, has been international letter mail and how you can use that in your business. Technically speaking, you're not actually allowed to send goods via international letter mail, so I'll just put that out there. It's not to say that you can't. I technically have. I've sent, lots of goods, and actually at the discretion of some of the Canada Post employees who put it through the international letter mail system, and I've never had a problem sending parcels with goods in them via letter mail international. I've never had a problem with a buyer claiming that they haven't received them, never had one sent back, and I've done that for a while. But more recently, it was brought to my attention that for all the parcels that you are shipping internationally, they had to go through as actual packets with a customs form for any sort of goods being sold. So that's something that you really want to pay attention to. Again, I haven't had a problem with it, but it's definitely, it's a rule out there, and we should follow it as sellers using the Canada Post services. So keep that in mind, that letter mail is not really going to be your solution here for your international parcels. And that goes for the US as well, but again, I just want to put that out there. Again, I appreciate the ones of you out there who, brought that up to me, and obviously, we're all learning still here, but I think that's a really important thing to know. Okay, you'll also notice though that in that video, I had a nice handy guide that I got off the Canada Post website, and I'm going to provide another one of those here today. It's not courtesy of me, it's courtesy of Canada Post, and it, is totally belongs to them, but they provide it on their website, and it gives some great information about international and domestic shipping and the sort of weight dimensions and sizes that you had to know. I'm going to link that down below if you want to go ahead and download that so you can follow along here, but I'm going to sort of break down what you want to be using for each one of these shipping methods. So again, we sort of talked about documents and letter mail. That is one option if you're sending maybe some really small items. If you want to take the risk there, again, it's not technically allowed, so I wouldn't recommend it. But let's start off here with the US. I think, again, it's one of the most popular locations that we're sending parcels to, and let's maybe start off with Small Packet. So Small Packet Air is the service that Canada Post offers to send smaller items, whether that be tracked or untracked, to the United States, and they actually have an international option for it as well, but we'll go into that later. For Small Packet Air and Track Packet, which again are going to be the two most common things that you're going to be using when sending things to the US, no one side can exceed, I believe it's 26 inches. No, actually, I just checked. It's 23.6 inches. That's, no side of the parcel can exceed that length. The total length of all the sides in your parcel cannot exceed 35.4 inches, and the total weight of the parcel cannot be over 4.4 pounds. And this applies to Small Packet Air and to the Track Packet USA option that are provided through Canada Post, which again, for most of the goods that you're selling, if you're selling small stuff, that's what you're going to be using. So here's what you need to know about these services. I basically never use Small Packet Air. It's basically not worth it. Track Packet is just a little bit more, usually just a couple dollars more, and they provide tracking. So Small Packet, although it is a handy service for sure, is again not really worth it, because you can track an item for just a little bit more, and when you're sending out items, obviously you're dealing with buyers that would most likely expect a tracking number, especially when you're selling to people in the States, because USPS offers tracking for much cheaper than here in Canada. Obviously all your local Canada parcels will have tracking, but USPS is tracking on everything. Unlike here, maybe we're sending things with letter mail, and people are okay with not getting tracking numbers. I find up here in the US, everybody expects tracking. So I would always recommend using Track Packet for a couple dollars more. You can charge that on eBay. If you go and select your shipping services, you can select Track Packet, and that will charge the buyers accordingly. If you're quoting people individually though, say you're sending invoices out, you can go to Canada Post's website, go find a rate, and see what their Track Packet rate is. But that's usually the best thing for your small packets. There's the odd occasion where I'll use a Small Packet Air. Maybe it's a really, really cheap item, and maybe it's going to a buyer that has some good feedback, or somebody that I trust, and maybe it's just something where I can't afford to spend that extra extra couple dollars, I'll end up losing money on it, and maybe I don't really care, maybe it makes it or not, I'm just kind of hoping, I have used it before, but overall you're just gonna be much better off with the track packet, especially the second that you get above a $5 item. And for anything over a small packet, now you're getting into priority, ex-post, and expedited mail. These essentially function the exact same way that they would in Canada. I believe the weight and dimensions are all the exact same, and it's just like sending something in Canada, except you're sending it to the States. I'm always a fan of using their expedited mail, especially when going to the States, but keep in mind that the second that you get out of the small packet range, you're jumping costs like crazy. I mean, it depends on where it's going. I mean, obviously you want to aim to get a small packet if you have an item that's sort of right in the threshold there, but again, I've seen packages that are going to places like Arizona, California, faraway places from here in Toronto, and what we see is, it might be a parcel, a small packet that will go for $18, $20 to those places, that all of a sudden jumps to 40 or 60 the second that you step up to an ex-post or an expedited parcel. So that's just one thing to note there though, but I am a huge fan of the small packet air. The track packet actually is what I should call it. Again, there's two of them there, but you're mainly going to be wanting to use the track packet. Provides tracking, and it's just been my favorite one overall. It's relatively quick, and just a great way to ship to the US. Okay, one other super important thing that you need to keep in mind if you are sending things to the US when you're dealing with your buyers is that you had to ask for a phone number. That is if you're shipping through the SnapShip tool provided by Canada Post through their website. I think if you're going through eBay, they'll automatically fill that out. Again, Poshmark doesn't ship to the US, but if you're going through, an invoice, for example, you're going to want to ask for the phone number. And again, if you're going to the post office itself, I don't think that you have to provide the phone number, but I know if you're doing it through their website, you have to get a phone number. So again, invoicing, or if you're going through eBay, just go view order details. It should be somewhere in there, and you have to provide that to SnapShip when you are sending things out. Also, these are going to be really important for sending out all of your international mail. Small packet customs forms right here. I don't know if there's different ones for the States. No, it doesn't look like it. I think this is just, you can use this internationally or in the States. But anyway, you're just going to put your from and to address and your declaration of what items you're sending with the total cost on those. People always ask me too this question. They have options for gift, sample documents, or other documentation, and what should you put down? They want to be charging, I think it's some import fees or whatever on these items. And so what I always put down, and again, some buyers don't like this. They ask me, can you send it as a gift or whatever? But I always just make sure to stay clean with it. I go ahead and I put down other documentation, and I'll just write eBay sale or Etsy sale or whatever it might be that you're selling. I just put that right down there. That way you're not going to get in any trouble. I'm not sure if it really matters, especially on some lower ticket items, but that's just, be honest about it and say that there. The buyer might get hit with a little bit of import, but again, that shouldn't really be our problem. This is just how the system works. And then we've got just signature and date. Nice and simple to do. If you're using SnapShip, you can do that all through their software online, and it just prints that out in the label for you, so it's nice and simple. But again, you can ask for a whole stack of these at the post office if you're selling in volume, and they will give them to you, and you can go ahead and fill them out before you go there to drop off your parcels, and it's just an easy way to do it. Okay, so that's basically what you need to know for USA. Let's jump into international now. Now for international, we've got this sort of same thing going on for small packets. We've got small packet air, which is a relatively quick way of getting things to people. It's sort of like the USA small packet air. We've also got a small packet surface now. This is not available for the US shipping, but this is an interesting one. It's usually a little bit cheaper than the small packet air, but it takes a little bit longer to get there. And then in that same category, we've got the track packet again, which again is usually just a few dollars more and will get you tracking to any of your international destinations. The dimensions here are the exact same, guys. No length can exceed 23.6 inches, 4.4 pounds in the box, and then no more than all the sides adding up 35.4 inches. Fairly straightforward there. It's the exact same for international, so that's pretty straightforward in terms of keeping in your head, what are we aiming for our small packets in order to get them to go through. That's sort of the range of dimensions that you're aiming for. What would I recommend for this? Now the price does, fluctuate a little bit more. You might see a track packet option that's, $8, $10 more than a small packet depending on where it's going. And that's when you start to question, okay, do I need tracking on this order? Again, for the more expensive items, I'm going to recommend it every single time. But internationally, yes, you might want to go with a small packet, potentially even a small packet ground depending on the item and the cost, and getting away with a slightly cheaper shipping price. But again, I'm always going to, head towards that track packet, lean towards that, because again, I think it's just better to provide your buyers with a tracking number. Plenty of, simple options though there in the international space in terms of sending those small packets out. And again, those are all available if you go to the find a rate section on Canada Post. Just type in the buyer's country and your home postal address or whatever, and the dimensions and the weight. And if you can fit under that small packet bracket that we just discussed, you can find all those rates listed there. Then we've got just the international parcels that are international parcel via air, and then international parcel via ground. Those are just like your standard shipping options. For anything that's not a small packet, you're going to go with one of those. Again, costs up quite a bit more than the small packets, unfortunately, but that's to be expected. Again, these are bigger items and they cost a little bit more when they're going across the country, or across the world actually, I should be saying. So It's expected, but they do cost up a little bit more. And then you have the same sort of ex-post and priority options that you would see here in Canada or when sending things to the United States. So it's pretty standard. They don't actually offer a specific expedited mail. That's not actually an option. I believe it's just the ex-post and the priority option. So keep that in mind. Not too much of a difference, except you are going to get charged up on those. The ex-post and the priority mail costs more than a standard expedited parcel would, cost you. Especially here in Canada, you'll notice, the expedited parcel almost costs the same as a regular parcel. If you have your Canada Post small business discount card, they basically charge the exact same rate, which means that that's not going to be necessarily the same going internationally. And well, guys, I think that's basically it. That kind of goes over all the international things that Canada Post has to offer. If you haven't seen my prior videos that I've made on Canada Post, stuff, I'll link the playlist somewhere, or I'll put something on the screen, something where you guys can go find them, or you can just click on my channel and go to the Canada Post, playlist and visit them all. We've got things talking about like oversized letter mail, though, which is my favorite subject by far. And I did a couple, more general guides back in the day where I sort of broke down all the different ways you could ship within Canada, which is again super valuable. I've got ways to save on your shipping. I've got ways that you might want to set up a business account with Canada Post to get some discounts and all of the above. Just ways to save some money on your small business, your eBay store, your e-commerce store, whatever it is. But these are all super helpful. And again, the things that I sort of wish that I had knew when I was starting out shipping, because shipping for me when I started was just a mess. I've also done some full videos where I break down the process of packing up my parcels and where I put the labels and how I go ahead and print them and all those sort of things. But if there's anything that I've missed that I haven't done yet, or a video that you would like to see in the future regarding shipping or any other sort of topic in the e-commerce space, please let me know, and I'll be sure to read all the comments down below and see if I can make those videos happen in the future. With that said though, guys, hopefully you found some value in this video and enjoyed it. Again, anything to add to this discussion, leave it down below. I'd be happy to go ahead and read them, and I'm sure other people would as well, because again, we're all still learning here, and there's always things changing within the Canada Post world. So I'd be happy to read those down below, and that would be awesome. And with that, guys, I'm going to end the video there. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you all in the next video.